Your bank sends you a Happy New Year email. They sponsor local community events. They put a friendly face on every billboard in town. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Your bank is not your friend. It is a business. And like every business, it exists to make money. The problem? A lot of that money comes directly from you. Not through robbery, not through fraud, through systems, fees, and fine print that are perfectly legal and almost completely invisible. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 7 things your bank quietly profits from while hoping you never figure it out. By the end of this video, you will never look at your bank account the same way again.
How did I let this happen?
Number 1, your savings account is quietly losing you money. Here is something your bank will never put in a commercial. The average savings account in the United States pays around 0.5% interest per year. Meanwhile, inflation runs at roughly 3% per year on average. Do the math. If you have $10,000 sitting in a standard savings account, you are effectively losing around $250 in purchasing power every single year. Your balance looks the same. Your money is worth less. The bank, on the other hand, is taking your deposited money and lending it out at 7%, 10%, 15% interest to other customers. They borrow from you at 0.5% and lend to others at 10 times that rate. The spread between those two numbers is a large part of how banks make billions. The fix is simple. High-yield savings accounts, available through online banks, often pay 4 to 5% interest. Same deposit protection, same accessibility. Just a better deal that your traditional bank would rather you not know exists. Number 2, minimum balance fees are a tax on being broke. Banks charge you a monthly maintenance fee if your balance drops below a certain threshold. We're talking anywhere from $5 to $25 per month just to keep your account open. Think about who gets hit hardest by that fee. Not wealthy customers. People who are already struggling to keep money in their account. It is a system that takes money from the people who can least afford to lose it. And here's the part that should frustrate you. Many banks will waive that fee if you simply ask, set up a direct deposit, or switch to a basic account tier. The fee exists not because it costs the bank money to maintain your account. It exists because most people never question it. They just pay it month after month, year after year, without realizing it adds up to hundreds of dollars over time.
Number 3, your bank is selling your financial data. Every transaction you make tells a story. Where you shop, what you eat, how often you travel, whether you are paying down debt or piling it on. Your bank knows all of it, and in many cases, they are selling anonymized versions of that data to third parties, marketers, financial analytics firms, and advertisers who use it to build profiles on consumers. It is buried in the terms and conditions you agreed to when you opened your account, the ones nobody reads. You technically consented, but consent buried in 40 pages of legal language is not exactly transparency. If you care about this, most banks offer opt-out options for data sharing with affiliates and third parties. You have to find it yourself and actively request it. Your bank is not going to send you a reminder. Number 4, overdraft protection is one of the most expensive loans you will ever take. Before we get to number 4, if you are finding this useful, hit that like and subscribe button. I am always curious where in the world you are watching from, so drop your country in the comments.
Okay, back to it. So-called overdraft protection sounds helpful. Your card does not get declined at the register. What a relief. What your bank does not loudly advertise is what that convenience costs you. The average overdraft fee in the US is around $35 per transaction. Spend $8 on lunch when you have $5 in your account, and you just paid $35 for the privilege. That is an effective interest rate in the thousands of percent if you think about it as a short-term loan. Some banks process your largest transactions first, specifically to maximize the number of overdraft fees they can charge in a single day. That is not an accident. That is a design choice. The fix? Opt out of overdraft protection entirely. A declined card is embarrassing for about 5 seconds. A $35 fee stings for a lot longer.
Number 5. Your bank is quietly upselling you products you do not need. Walk into a bank branch and you will almost always be offered something: a credit card, a personal loan, insurance, an investment product. This is not because the teller genuinely sat down and analyzed your financial situation. It is because bank employees have sales quotas. They are measured and sometimes compensated based on how many products they move. The products being pushed are often not the most competitive options available to you. The credit card may have a higher APR than alternatives. The investment product may carry higher fees than what you could get elsewhere. Always compare before you commit to any financial product your bank recommends. There is an entire market of options they are not mentioning.
Ta-da!
Number 6. The order in which your payments are processed is not neutral. Here is one most people have never even thought about. When multiple transactions hit your account on the same day, your bank gets to choose the order in which they are processed. Many banks historically processed the largest transaction first. Why? Because it drains your balance faster, increasing the chance that smaller transactions trigger overdraft fees, more fees from the same single day of spending. Some banks have faced lawsuits over this practice and changed their policies. Others have not. You should know your bank's transaction processing policy. It is in the account agreement. And if you are someone who occasionally runs close to zero, it matters more than you think.
Number 7. Your bank is not required to give you the best interest rate ever. This is the one that surprises people most. If you walk in and ask for a better rate on your mortgage, your car loan, or even your savings account, your bank is allowed to say yes. They are also perfectly allowed to never tell you that option exists. Interest rates are often negotiable, especially for existing customers with good standing. Banks would rather quietly keep you at the standard rate than proactively offer you a discount. But studies show that customers who simply ask for a better rate receive one more often than not. The worst they can say is no, and no costs you nothing. Here is the thing about all of this. None of it is illegal. None of it is a conspiracy. It is just a system built by businesses to maximize their revenue, and it works best when you do not ask questions. The bank is counting on inertia, on you being too busy, too intimidated, or too unaware to push back. Now you know the game. Playing it differently is entirely up to you.